Good morning, beautiful people. Oh my word. Did you ever think that 5 years ago, 2 years ago, celebrating New Year 2020, that this is where you would be May 2020? Well, I know that I certainly didn't. I do realize that my life wasn't going exactly according to my plan A, and things were not playing out the way that I would have wanted. And I knew that changes needed to be made. Does this ring a chord with you? Of course it does. Because in some way or another, we've all been looking for change. We've all been looking to make changes within our lives that we have not been completely satisfied with what we have. So we were given an opportunity, and the lockdown started. And in the beginning it was fun. It was like, oh yay, forced holiday. Yay, we can spend time at home. We can do those projects that we didn't have time to get around to. 51 days later, it's not so much fun anymore. We're becoming aware that there are so many people who are hungry, who have lost everything. Each day that goes by, more people lose their jobs, more people go hungry. So what started out as this kind of flippant attitude, we're starting to take another look at this. I know that at the beginning of this lockdown, there was a meme that went round, and I mentioned it in one of my previous talks about how God had sent us to our rooms to think about what we had done. And how true, I think, has that been. Because that's exactly what has happened, isn't it? That during this time, we've been given the most wonderful opportunities to experience our shadow selves and to love them, heal, and to grow through them. And also to reevaluate our lives of what is most important to us. And again, at the beginning of those 3-4 days before lockdown, what people did, and people went out and bought food. And I heard of a couple, they went out and they just went and bought the most amazing amount of alcohol and cigarettes. Because they decided if they were going to be locked down for 3 weeks, they were going to party for 3 weeks. Somebody else went out and bought hair dye. And, we go, how ridiculous. Because now, 51 days later, have you noticed how your thoughts have changed? What has become more important? And speaking to people, people say, stay safe. And when they ask you, how are you doing? I think there's more compassion in that, how are you doing? People are honestly starting to care. They certainly are caring about the well-being of themselves and their families. And I think that extends beyond at the moment. That people are trying to look at what is going on in a positive way. And people are trying to help out and give where they can. And I think that is huge, huge growth. It's wonderful growth. Because before we were stuck, we were attached to our cell phones or iPads and tablets, and that was what was important. We didn't talk to people. And I've noticed for myself that in the past couple of weeks, my cell phone has never ever taken great importance in my life, and even less so now. And I realize that I'm not the only one, that people's focus has changed. And I think that has to be one of the best possibilities, that we've been caught up in what I've always termed the quickening, where the energy has become lighter. But as the energy has become lighter, the way that we have responded has been to rush. And instead of realizing or acknowledging that the lightened energy that has been coming to earth for over 10 years has been coming to raise us up, we didn't recognize that. And so we just took it that we needed to rush around. And this lockdown has certainly offered all of us an opportunity to slow down and to take stock and to reevaluate. And as I say, that can't be bad. But in that, there has been a lot of other stuff that's come up. And, you know, people call this a pandemic, and I just look at it and I just think that it is a creation of fear for us to look at our lives and to look at it with integrity and honesty and authenticity. And what do we really want? And it's almost like being sent to our bedrooms, that we have a moment of, hang on a sec, how are we going to go forward? Where are we going to move? Are we going to continue the lives that we had that certainly were not right, were certainly not working for us, were not holding us, uplifting us, and supporting us? So we need to create something new. And new is new. It's not to be feared. And I think that's something also that we need to become aware of, that it is just what it is. We are going through change. And it's the label that we put to it that is going to, at the end of the day, make it good or bad, or just is. And I'm choosing, I must be honest, I'm choosing that this lockdown is just a lockdown, and it is just an opportunity to reevaluate, to take a moment. And it's very interesting that when we are very young, we daydream. We, as teenagers, daydreamed and dreamed the most magical, fanciful existence. And you know, if you look back on your lives, those came to pass. What you dreamed came to pass. And now we've forgotten how to dream. So we sit in this breath, and what do? And I see people creating, I see people getting depressed. I've heard of people taking their lives because they just are not coping. And again, if we look at this dispassionately, it just is what it is. However, how we go forward is so much more. And I think that one of the things that we need to do is we need to learn to dream again. To take time every day as we sit in our prayer, in our meditation, we also take that time to dream a new tomorrow. You know, in preparation for this also, I sat in meditation and I asked, what do I share with you? Because I know that there are so many people. I've struggled over the last weeks. I've had to face quite a few shadows. And I know many of us had to, and that's okay. And I wanted to offer you something that was or is going to help you to move forward. Now, if you were a perfect being, you wouldn't be here. So that's the one thing. We all have our own lessons, our own experiences to go through. And I think this time, on that aspect of your lives, you need to redream. You need to look at, where do you want to be tomorrow? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Knowing that what has been hasn't suited you. You haven't wanted that in the essence of your being. And what I was told to remind you who you are. Wow. And so I was like, okay, well, that's an easy one. Is it? It's easy to say. We are born of God. So we are made in the very essence of God. Our beings are divine light, unconditional love, and compassionate energy. Because we are born of God, we are connected to all life. We are connected to one another. We are connected to Gaia, to the moon, the sun, and the stars. We are also spirit, having this human experience. I spoke also last year about our shadow selves, that we need to love ourselves, heal. I've spoken about, at the beginning of this year, about the essence of your being, that you are magnificent and perfect. You are pathfinders, you are light bearers, you are healers. And you have chosen, your soul has chosen this physical experience right now, that you can be part of the changes. You are part of the growth of consciousness. Because as you grow, you give everybody else the opportunities to grow. As you heal, you give other people the opportunities to heal. And it is in your knowing that takes you forward. So, yeah, I want to say to you guys, in all of this, remember, fear is the absence of love. And we have moments of fearfulness. So we have moments of forgetting who we really are. We forget the very essence of our beings. So in those moments, when you listen to the news, to the lies and the deceit that is being spewed, because I do believe that is what it is. You listen to those, you listen to the people who've lost their lives because of this virus. And in that moment, I want you to remember who you really are. That you are born of God. That you have in you, within your being, you carry the divine light. That you are unconditional love. That you are compassion. That you are joy. And so much more. And in that, and learning to dream again, learning to dream a fanciful, a perfect, a bigger, larger than life tomorrow. We will all come through this. And in a year or two, we will kind of look at it and know that it was all well worth it. Definitely. I also drew a couple of tarot cards okay, so this is great. Tell us where we're going. What do you have to offer us we're going through this hell? Where do we go? And it was interesting because the first card was the universe card. Then there was the cups and the horned one and the swords. And these cards talk about endings and beginnings. That this is what it is. That in this, that there are emotions and intuitions that we need to take into account. That we need to hold on to our faith. We need to hold on to our faith. And the decisions and the mental work that we do will offer us a new beginning. And I think that was really beautiful. It gave me hope. And also a jolt into who I am. Certainly the first card that I drew, the universe card, was, who are you? You are the universe. You are everything that is. And all this is just an experience. So, in this, I want to just also share with you a piece from Marianne Williamson. It was a gift, a book that I was given, I've been gifted with, and I just thought that I would like to share with you guys. When we are born, we are programmed perfectly. We had a natural tendency to focus on love. Our imaginations were creative and flourishing, and we knew how to use them. We were connected to a world much richer than the one we are connected to now, a world full of enchantment and a sense of the miraculous. So what happened? Why is it that we reached a certain age, looked around, and the enchantment was gone? Because we are taught to focus elsewhere. We were taught to think unnaturally. We were taught a very bad philosophy, a way of looking at the world that contradicts who we are. Love is what we are born with. Fear is what we have learned here. The spiritual journey is the relinquishment or unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts. Love is the essential, existential fact. It is our ultimate reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to To experience love in ourselves and others is the meaning of love. And I think that kind of says it all. So may you hold on to the truth of your being, to the magnificence, and know without a doubt that God holds you in his grace and illumines your path now and in all ways. Thank you.